Okay, picture this. You are flying over Africa at twice the speed of sound. It's the middle of the day, right? But you look up, and the sun just vanishes. In its place, there's this black hole in the sky, surrounded by a ghostly, glowing halo. Now, this isn't some sci-fi movie. This was the actual view from inside the Concorde on a flight that was truly one of a kind.
You know, total solar eclipses are absolutely stunning, but they're also super frustrating because they're so brief. Usually, if you're standing on the ground, you only get a few minutes of totality. But back in 1973, a team of scientists figured out a way to do something that sounds impossible. They basically decided to cheat time, and they stretched a 7-minute event into an unbelievable 74-minute spectacle.
So, their big chance came with the solar eclipse of 1973. And this wasn't just any eclipse. No, this one was predicted to be one of the longest in modern history. We're talking about an event so rare, another one like it wouldn't happen for over 200 years. For scientists who study eclipses, this was it. This was the opportunity of a lifetime.
So to really get what a huge challenge this was, let's do a quick refresher. During a solar eclipse, the moon throws a shadow on the Earth. The very center of that shadow, that sweet spot, is called the umbra. That's where you get to see the total eclipse. But here's the thing, that shadow does not sit still. It literally races across the surface of the Earth at mind-boggling speeds.
And this, right here, really puts the scale of their ambition into perspective. On the ground, the absolute best anyone could hope for was about 7 minutes of darkness. The goal for this mission? 74 minutes. That's more than 10 times longer. I mean, how on earth was that even possible?
Well, the answer came from a French astrophysicist named Pierre Lena. He was completely fascinated by the sun's corona, that superheated, really mysterious outer atmosphere. To study it the way he wanted to, he knew he had to get above all the distortion of Earth's atmosphere, and he needed way more than the 7 minutes an eclipse normally gives you.
So Lena had this just audacious idea. He went to André Turcotte, who was the legendary chief test pilot for the Concorde program, and he asked him a pretty simple question. What if, instead of just letting the shadow fly past them, they used the fastest passenger jet in the world to actually chase it down?
And it turns out, Concorde was the perfect and really the only tool for the job. Yeah, other planes might have been faster, but none of them had that magic combination of speed, high-altitude endurance, and enough cabin space to carry a whole team of scientists and all their bulky gear. The idea was so cool that Aerospatiale, the manufacturer, agreed to lend them the very first prototype, Concorde 001.
But let's be real. Chasing a shadow that's moving at 2,200 kilometers per hour, which is just a little bit faster than Concorde's top speed, was a monumental challenge. The team had to plot a perfect intercept course over Africa, a continent that didn't have a whole lot of airports that could handle an aircraft like Concorde.
The flight plan they came up with was just a masterpiece of precision. They'd take off from Gran Canaria, fly south to this mathematically perfect spot over Mauritania, and meet the shadow the exact second it arrived. Now here's the really clever part. The shadow's path on the Earth is curved, but turning the plane would mess up the experiments, so they plotted this ingenious straight-line course that just sliced right through the shadow, maximizing their time inside before landing way over in Chad. To pull this off, Concorde 001 had to be completely transformed. I mean, they ripped out all the passenger seats, and since the eclipse was going to be directly overhead, they cut special quartz windows into the roof of the plane. They even rewired the electrical systems to power all the science equipment. They basically turned a luxury airliner into the fastest scientific observatory in the world.
So, the plane is ready, the course is plotted, and the entire mission comes down to a single moment. The success of the whole project was riding on them hitting their target with absolutely zero room for error.
Their target was a literal shadow. A shadow racing across the planet at over 2,000 kilometers per hour. Just think about that.
And to get the most time inside it, they had to hit that exact intercept point in the sky within a 15-second window. If they were any later, the value of the whole mission would just plummet.
And it wasn't just about time. Their margin for error in space was just 1 single kilometer. Hitting a target that small, moving that fast, that is just a monumental challenge of piloting.
So on June 30th, 1973, Concorde 001 rolls down the runway. And at the controls, André Turcotte knew he couldn't just fly the plane. He was going to have to react in real time to make the impossible happen.
Turcotte's piloting was just extraordinary.
He actually took off 20 seconds early just to build himself a little buffer. And good thing he did, because turbulence almost immediately ate up 8 of those seconds. Then he had to use air brakes to slow down, but some unpredictable winds put them 4 seconds behind schedule. So with just minutes to go, Turcotte does this incredibly bold move. He pushes the engines past their official top speed to make up the time. And the result? They hit the intercept point just 1 second late. 1 second.
And in that instant, boom, everything went dark. They were inside the shadow. Midday literally became midnight. You could see the stars, and through those custom windows, the scientists saw the sun's magnificent corona just blazing in the sky. They were racing the moon itself, and the clock had started.
For the next hour and a quarter, they had a view of the cosmos that no one had ever had before, and the scientific prize they brought back was absolutely immense.
They stayed inside the moon's shadow for a staggering 74 minutes. The kind of data they were able to collect would have been completely impossible to get any other way.
And the data they gathered was pretty revolutionary. They got a much better understanding of something called zodiacal light, that faint glow you see from all the dust floating around in our solar system. And even cooler, they discovered the sun's corona isn't just sitting there, it actually pulses with acoustic waves, kind of like a bell, roughly every 5 minutes. After those 74 minutes, Concorde flew out of the shadow and landed safely in Chad. The mission was a spectacular success, and to this day, it is still the longest solar eclipse ever witnessed by human beings, a record that honestly, thanks to the unique abilities of the now-retired Concorde, is probably going to stand for centuries.
It's just such a stunning example of human ingenuity, right? Combining science and technology to pull off something truly extraordinary. It really makes you wonder, with all the incredible tools we have now, what seemingly impossible ideas are out there right now, just waiting for someone to chase them down?